Hey, it is Kaylee with Kaylee Cross Stitch. Of course, somebody starts their engine right as I'm about to start. And this is another Stitch with Me number 7. I'm set up a little bit differently today. This is kind of my thoughts. Once I get a better computer, it's in the mail. We ordered it right when the shortages started happening. But I would like to start streaming on either YouTube or Twitch. And this is kind of the setup I'm thinking, is to have a camera on my stitching, a big camera, having a camera on my face so you can see me, and then having a mock-up of what I'm stitching on. So as you can see, today is Moroccan Sampler, and this is by Cliffside Stitches on Etsy. I need to not be lazy about linking it below, so I'll see if I can remember to do that. And let me just zoom this in on where I am working on. The last time this was in a Stitch with Me, I didn't get the audio, so hopefully today will be fine. I'm working down in below this motif, which this is the blue and red, and then this is the motif on the far right, and the border is over here, and I'm going to be working on this down here. So there'll be some of this blue part, and then I'll see if I can get to the purple, and the yellow is supposed to be here, and the green, but I'm not quite sure if I'll get that far in this time. So I think I'm going to talk a little bit more in this one. I hope you're okay with that. And yeah, let's get started. I haven't stitched yet today, so this is good. You know, if I were smart, I would have done like a tag. 1, 2, 3. Like a stitcher tag, but whatever. Can I? Oh yeah, you can still see me. And I'm going to try something today where my phone is not on autofocus. It's just focused on the stitching part, so hopefully my hand won't make it keep focusing. Boy, I suppose I could talk a little bit softer. So I hope you're having a good week. I am. I'm getting back into teaching. Whoa, why am I trembling? And just wrapping stuff up from spring break. I just had a week off. And I did not stitch very much. It was a lot of visiting family safely and hanging out, meeting a new nephew who is already a year old. Isn't that crazy? Oops. And I did not stitch very much. If you watched, I guess I'm hungry. If you watched my last video, it was a floss tube with my mother, and it was really fun seeing her. And oh, I should turn that vibrate off on my phone. It was fun seeing my mom and looking at some of her old projects and my aunt's old projects, and one from my sister. And I think I talked about this in one of my other videos, but I did have a couple pieces that I started and never finished. UFOs. And I didn't look very hard for them, but I don't know if they were thrown out or what. It's possible that they were. I mean, I wouldn't blame my mom for not wanting them in her house. So it was fun to see those projects and check it out on my Instagram. I have a pretty good picture of the project that my mom stitched that I probably was the most inspired by. Sorry if this lighting is a little bit funky. It's overcast today here in California. Oh, I just bumped the microphone. Well, now, there you go, Darcy. Fair warning. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. 7. See, if I have this set up for my streams, I did one stream, and Claire Stitchlet was so lovely and hung out with me while I streamed, but it was probably not very good. And said laptop that I am supposed to get soon, computer, has a very good processor. And I do not claim to know very much about computers, but I think that means that it can stream better. It's a gaming computer specifically, so isn't that just like the cross-stitch community to get a gaming laptop just for, it's not just for cross-stitch streams. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hello. The cats are making themselves available, making themselves known. Hi. I'm sure if you have cats, you know this. If you set up something just a little bit differently, they're like, what's going on here? Oh my goodness. And then if you open the windows, then they are like, what is going on outside? Love it. My posture's atrocious. Loud noise, possibly. Maybe that's better. Hang on. Lighting. I always do this. I'm sorry. I do a lot of adjusting before I start, and then I adjust it even more after I start. You know what I noticed about my videos? I think the first one that I did, or one of the first ones, it was like ultra quiet. And I think, well, I'm learning about recording and all this stuff, but I think I'm going to err on the side of too loud, because you can always turn it down, but you can only turn it up so much. And I guess I probably don't need to say this, but I want to say it. Sorry for the bad audio quality of the last video. I wasn't gonna fly with a fancy microphone. I'm gonna see if I can get this fabric under control a little bit more. Not really. Oh, you know what? Let's try this. There. Is this even right? I'm especially paranoid right now because I have an audience. Okay, so my mind is not focusing on one thing at a time, so forgive me if I go off the rails and ramble somewhere else. So, because I was gone, I was not home for a week, I had to, and I was spending time with people, I had to not be stuck on watching FlossTube, because that's what I usually do when I'm at home. I teach throughout the day, and then the evenings are kind of my time to stitch and watch FlossTube, and I watch it on weekends too, but I was busy all week, so I was unable to watch a whole bunch of FlossTube. Okay. Oh, this is weird. Oh no, that was right. This is risky, but I'm going to go for it. So, I have been very, very slowly catching up on FlossTube, and there's probably about, I don't know, probably 15 hours in my watch later folder. So I'm catching up on FlossTube, and I will not, I feel like Darcy right now, because there are people who I watch their video immediately after it comes out. I don't go 24 hours without watching it. I'm not gonna say who those people are, because I too don't want to play favorites or anything. And I'm sure you can relate. And I do not ever expect to be the person that everyone wants to watch right away. But I'm trying to expand my people of FlossTube that I watch. But then there's also a part of me that is I have to watch all the way from the beginning, and I really don't want to be a bad friend and not watch all of them, or not engage with all of them. I don't know. It's very strange. Oh, this maneuver is going to be hard. I'm going to have to stop talking for this one. So I feel like maybe that's the better way to do it, though. Rather than trying to watch somebody's video while you're stressed and working on other things, or trying to be on vacation, then you can, give them the time that they deserve and the attention that they deserve. Okay, I'm gonna have to count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Yes, 7 plus 4 is 11. Okay, so let's go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Stitch. And that should be right in the middle. Okay, I need another cat. I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't think so. She's like, yes it will. Kitty. She's like, I'm here. Okay. Kaylee is trying to do too many things at once. She's trying to count, talk, and figure out where she is on her project. Okay, let's see. That's the middle. Would help if this wasn't so, we're right. Exactly in the right spot. So what I'm doing, I'm using a pin stitch to start and end, and because I'm kind of like particular about these ones, I don't want to carry this thread, but I am carrying it and will cut it off one time on the back. So right now I have a carried thread through here. I did a pin stitch on this one, and I did a pin stitch on this one. So then when I cut the thread on the back, I'll just have a tiny bit of waste. And so I did a pin stitch here, and now I'm doing a pin stitch to start this next little bajongler. That's the technical term. The little bajongler. Okay, so let's just hope that this is in the right spot. And after I run out of blue, I'm definitely going to do that purple, because my arm does not reach this far very well. See, I'm not even centering it. These are a mess. Dude, when I don't talk, then it's a little bit more organized, I think. But Kaylee decided to talk this time. So as I was saying about watching people, yeah, I feel like I'm obviously way behind, but I also don't want to like rush to catch up. This is a pro tip, but I'm not a pro. I watch on 1.25 or 1.5 speed even sometimes. It depends on how fast the person talks. And that way I get in more people. So there are some people that I watch on 1.5. Noah. I'm teasing, because sometimes Noah gets very distracted by other things, and I'm like watching it on 1.5 so that I just can, get through it. Please tell me if that's offensive. But I want to get to everyone. So I gotta watch most people on 1.25 and some people on 1.5. That's how I get through some speeches that I don't really want to listen to, but I feel obligated to listen to. Okay, I'm gonna do something really insane and just kind of snip this on the back and not even turn it around. And I'll trim the rest later. Look. Okay, purple. Okay, cat. Fine. You do you, girl. So yeah, I am watching lots of people, catching up on lots of people. I forgot how fun this thing is to work on. And I forgot how fun my full coverage is to work on. I pulled out my large United States last night. How do I want to do this? Okay, we'll just kind of go where we feel like. Any way the wind blows. And I forgot how much I like two-handed stitching, because on my trip I just kind of did one-handed 25 count on Alabama, 1/1. I did do a little bit of this, and I did my old, I did my old like curl up and prop it on your knees thing, which is not the greatest position to be in. But once you have good posture, it's like this goes really fast. This two-handed stitching. Maybe I should say this, the pin stitch that I use, I stole from Shiloh, X-Stitch MD. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit. She has a tutorial on a pin stitch. If I remember, I will link all these people below. Comment if you're a floss tuber and somebody mentions you in the video and you don't usually watch that person. Let me see if I can think of how I want to word this. So for example, say that Shiloh doesn't watch my videos. And she has a lot of traffic on her channel. She has lots of views and stuff. And somebody tags you on Instagram or links you in their video. And then, like, does it come to a point where you don't even watch the video if it's like this stitch with me? Like, or maybe she'll just watch it on double speed and be like, where does this chick mention my name? Or am I overthinking it like a Gemini that I am? Or should I just, oh, kitty. Boy. Or should I just, like, not tag them and weirdly talk about people all the time? Or not even weird? Maybe this is why I don't talk in my videos. This feels very strange and a little weird. for stitching with me. What are you stitching on? See, this is why I need a live. I never would have thought that I would have been like, I really want to be live and talk to people, but I think that's maybe how I am. Like, that's my best way to interact, or it's how I can give people the most attention. As I was saying before, like, I feel bad if I don't like watch somebody's video all the way through, or did I do the wrong one? Nope, that was right. Hashtag linen probs. You're not funny, Kaylee. You're not funny. Or maybe you are. Comment below. Is Kaylee funny? Storage. I feel like the Hulk. Just like, oh my goodness. So, speaking of talking about people and feeling insecure or feeling bad for not watching all their videos, I am catching up on Betsy Clagger, because she subscribed to me. Hi, Betsy, if you're watching. And I hear a lot about this cat, Alexander Hamilton. My name is Alexander Hamilton, and there's a million things I haven't done. Just you wait. Okay, Kaylee. But I've not watched the video with Hamilton in it yet. That's why I need to catch up. And I feel bad, and I feel out of the loop, because everyone's talking about this cat, and I don't know the cat. But I need to know the cat. Because cats. Right? I need to know the cat. Do you know the cat, Hamilton? This is fun. And speaking of Betsy, I did watch her latest floss tube. That monkey on a toilet. So funny. So funny. Very, very funny. We were just going good for a bit there. Just no talking. Shh. Crow. No, parrot. That's a parrot. Did you know that the fact just poof left my brain? Parrots are loud. They live in the wild. There are undomesticated flocks of parrots here in Southern California, and they are so loud. I mean, you just heard it. See, this microphone is so good you can hear my computer just going. Yikes. Yeah, we can do that. Excuse you. Don't rev while I'm recording. You're coming back for more? This cat has been so needy today. She's just like trying so badly to be on my lap all day. It's come to the point where, so I used to teach on campus. Like, I was talking and I was gonna do, okay, that's fine. I used to teach on campus, and then I started teaching from home because get your nose out of here. Ready? Hello. See, she fits like nicely. Here you can see my dress shirt and sweatpants. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. The kids are preparing to go back in person, but because I am at 2 schools, I will continue to teach virtually for music. Because my schedule is kind of funky this year. But so I teach from home, and then sometimes it's chilly in the place where I teach. So I put a blanket over myself, and that's kind of the cat's indication that, ooh, that's a lap that I can sit in. And she just kind of comes and sits in my lap, and she's not like super loud or anything while I'm teaching. And I think that the kids have kind of gotten used to it. They're like, oh, there's the cat in Mrs. Parker's lap again. Which ain't that adorable? And so, I think it was today that she like climbed up into my lap, and miraculously, no one was like, "Is that a cat?" They're so cute. The kids are really cute. Okay, we got halfway through. Whoops. Yeah, I'm gonna do it this way. See, here's how I end. I do the top leg of the stitch, which, again, this is stolen from Shiloh's tutorial. So that's the top leg of the stitch. And then I do the bottom leg in 2 parts. And I just kind of push the top leg out of the way and go down the center. And then do the other part of the bottom leg and push the top leg out of the way and go back. And I usually fluff it a little bit. Cat, stop. Seriously. She's like, I'm just gonna sit here. Are you good? Not only am I trying to cut a thread on the back without looking at it. Oh, there we go. The cat just like figuring out her whole life on my lap. Thankfully, these cats aren't really like super duper obsessed with my thread. Now, when I was visiting family, they have a pair of cats who is really into thread, and it's impossible to do anything. Not super impossible. Oh, gross. My fingers are dirty. I just changed the oil in my car. Our car. My fingers got dirty. Oh, it's on autofocus. Ooh, and I cut my long fingernails. So sad. That was so funny how my mom has used Loop Start, and she didn't know what it was called, because that was back in the 90s. And I didn't learn the Loop Start until like May of last year. So I'm a little bit saucy that I didn't learn the Loop Start. She should have taught it to me. Just kidding. Because Loop Start is great. Now, unless you're using variegated thread, which I don't have that much experience with. Still a little bit of a noob. If you record stitch with me, do you get like a little bit of a lull? Feeling a little bit of a lull right now. Oh, that's the wrong. No, it's not the wrong hole. See, I wish I had more natural light in here. You know what else I haven't tried stitching on? Over 2 on even weave. It's only been linen. And I would like, wait, I have. Never mind. I lied. I have. Oh, come on, John. The phone is there. Is it because I'm getting texts on my phone? Could be that. So, maybe I can talk about my stitching style a little bit, and I'll try to explain this as well as I can if there's any more noob than me stitchers. And these are kind of like stolen techniques from other people. So my full coverage pieces, if you've ever watched me stitch on one of those, I generally keep in mind, I haven't been like super regularly stitching for that long. It's a year now because I started really stitching pretty much every day during the pandemic. So I was learning more about stitching and learning about different techniques then, and I wanted to try diagonal stitching, which I didn't really know much about, but I think I found, it's possible that I just found someone on Instagram that was using diagonal parking method, and I was like, whoa. And then somebody was like, sorry, that took a while. Oh, I'm recording. Oh. I'm thinking of maybe like 10 more minutes.
Should I call in for food?
Yeah.
Just tofu broccoli?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're getting pho. And then I had seen in a comment, I was looking for tutorial videos on diagonal parking, and I saw someone comment, Brian at Blitzstitch has a really good video on a tutorial on parking, diagonal parking, and I think he mentioned in his video that he took it from somebody else too, which all good teachers, all good floss tubers, I guess we all do that. What do I want to do here? I want it all and I want it now. And so I watched his video and I was like, oh, that looks very achievable. And what he said in his video and what I found was true is that it's much quicker, and if you're into making your stitches neat, it's much quicker to try to bring your needle up through the fabric in a hole that is nearly empty or nearly empty. So even when I do tent stitch, I don't like do exclusively continental. I do continental on one row, and then I do just kind of regular, like kind of how I am here, where I go the shortest distance on the next row over. And that's so that I can bring my needle up in a hole that is empty or nearly empty. Okay, so what am I trying to do here? Hang on. 1, 2, 3. Right. And that works really well for the diagonal. And one thing that he points out in that video is like, you might think that rethreading your needle a whole bunch, takes a lot of time, and it does, but you also get very used to it. You get used to rethreading your needle. And then if you're like me, you attempt to stitch with like 3 yards of thread for one color, which I don't really recommend, but it's I kind of was cutting my threads too short, and then I split the difference, and I didn't split the difference, and I went extremely long. Double the length, basically. Where was I going? And I can keep my needles threaded because that piece is in black and white. I have not done that on one that has like a lot of colors. So if you look at my supersized USA, I almost never leave my needles threaded on that one, because there's so many colors and I just have to park it right away, even if there's only one stitch. But for me, the reason why I was so drawn to the diagonal parking method, excuse the dink, is because I don't have to make decisions about where I'm going to stitch next. I can just be like, okay, this is the next one in the row, and I'm just going to stitch that one next. And I don't have to like stop, look in the pattern, and be like, where else does this color appear? And granted, this was before I had Pattern Keeper, so it's possible that I would feel differently about cross country now. But I'm very happy with how quickly I can stitch, because I try not to bring my needle up in a hole that is full. And then I also found these like super dull needles on Amazon. And they don't work on all the fabrics, like they're pretty thick, so they don't really work on like stuff much smaller than 16 count. Like I don't think I even used these on maybe I did use these on 16 count. But it's a lot easier when you don't have to bring your needle up in one. But I have been watching Stitching Mommy a lot. Excuse this faucet, I'm sorry. I've been watching Stitching Mommy, and the technique that she was using on her full coverage really looks fun. And I might have to try one that way. I think it's her most recent stitch with me is on her iris piece. And whoops, I'm really bumping everything here, aren't I? And that looks really fun. Oh, really fun. And I might have to try that. Ew, that was not me, that was the cat. Gross. So, let me see if I can just try to explain her technique. So on her full coverage, she has been using this technique where you go from left to right, row by row, and you complete one strand of that color and just keep moving down the pattern until you fill in everything. Boy, I don't know about you, but if there's like background noise, I find it especially hard to focus on what I'm saying. So I'm sorry if I say something more than once here. So for example, on this, she would complete one strand of this blue. And then if she runs out of that color, but this blue is not done, she would pick out a strand of this blue. Or you would. And you would complete, and you would go from left to right. So then once you're done with this blue and this blue, then the next one to the right is red. Obviously it wouldn't be the greatest technique on this kind of piece because it's motifs and it's just kind of lends itself to color completion. But on full coverage it looks really fun. If I'm not explaining it very well, or you have no idea what I'm talking about, I recommend going to her channel, Stitchin' Mommy, and checking out some of her techniques. And she also is doing some projects on like 40 count 1/110 stitch. I think it happens when I get a text. I'm sorry. And her 1/110 stitch on 40 count looks kind of cool. It's like Ymir except lazy. Like, yeah, I'll stitch 1/1 on really high count 10 stitch. I suppose there might not be a floss line that is like as extensive as DMC in really, really small sizes. So maybe that wouldn't, I mean, it's probably not, unless you're doing a monochromatic piece, I think it would be hard to do 1/1 on really, really high counts. Or a piece that's easy to pick your colors. This coming from someone who has never stitched on 40 count, so don't take my word for it. Okay, 54 minutes. I think I am going to end it after this. I've been talking for at least 50 of the 54 minutes. I don't know, you all or not you all, but some people commented and was like, it's okay if you talk. So here we go. Here we are. Here we have a full 54-minute stitch with me that I have talked throughout. Okay, maybe I'll show you what I mean. Oh, I just stitched over all of it, didn't I? I'll show you what I mean about cutting it off on the back. I had this propped against my water bottle. Oh, excuse the messy desk. See, so I had carried this, but it's whatever. Zoom in. Let me trim this a little bit more. I got this little scissors from the Sexy Knitter. Is that her name? Yeah. On Etsy. Okay, so here's where I carried it. So I had a pin stitch over here and a pin stitch right here. And so I just trim, This probably isn't super duper secure, but whatevs. I'm gonna trim. I usually leave like, I don't know, like 3 millimeters. You know, when I'm thinking about really small lengths, I always think in millimeters or centimeters, because why in the world do I have to worry about like 8/16 of an inch? I literally said half an inch. See, that's how dumb it is. Like, you have to do math. Get out. I don't know why I'm pulling this out. I just covered it up, but for consistency's sake. And there we go. Do you want to see the whole thing? You'll be the first to see it. Just kidding. I'll probably stitch on this more today. So I'm going to leave it in the hoop. But there it is, sort of is. Oh my goodness. This is not going well, as you can tell. This is really pretty. I have like all of the cliffside stitches patterns favorited on Etsy. And as soon as I'm off my ban, I'm gonna go ham and buy a bunch. I sort of worked it out so that my pattern buying ban ends like right on my birthday. So it's gonna be a good birthday. Anyway, the kitty says goodbye. My rumbly stomach says goodbye. Ew. Gross. Oh, shouldn't show you my email. And I will see you next week for a floss tube update. And in 2 weeks for another Stitch with Me. If there's a specific project that you want me to use for my Stitch with Me next week, let me know. I think I've gotten through all my projects that are current whips. Nope, I haven't. I haven't done any black work. You know, I've been thinking that I need to get one of those projects back out. I have 2 started and I haven't worked on them in months. So maybe I'll do black work next week. Comment below if you'd like to see that and see my very, very noob black work technique. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this. And find me on Instagram at Kaylee Crossstitch. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.